2 more days left of NHL action before the NHL takes a break for the Olympics, guys. Welcome to PuckTime, WagerTalk TV. Myself, Andrew McInnis, Carmine Bianco, Brian Leonard, and Don Buster. Jam-packed show for you guys today. It is a Wednesday, but there are a handful of games for us to get into. Look forward to breaking it down. Look forward to having a big day. 1-1 day yesterday, NHL. 1-1 day yesterday, college basketball. Should have been a great night. Pittsburgh Penguins, they're leading with 5 minutes to go. They lose it in overtime. We'll move on. Feel pretty good about the read in that one. Columbus, they got the job done. Easy winner. And I think it was a pretty good day for all of us yesterday on Puck Time. Carm, I'll bring you in, man. Good to see you. Good morning.
Morning, man. 2 days left until the Olympic break. Some of these teams are already on Olympic breaks, Andrew, it seems like.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man. We have an action-packed show today. We'll be doing some during the Olympic break, I believe, as well, too. We'll be talking some hockey. But Andrew and I are going to break down Montreal and Winnipeg, essentially a coin flip between these two Canadian teams. Don Buster coming in to do Chicago and Columbus. Brian Leonard, the man, the legend, the myth, is going to do the Vegas Golden Knights, a team he knows more about than anybody else, as they take on the Vancouver Canucks. And then you and I are going to finish it off with the Alberta Derby, Edmonton and Calgary, the Oilers off a 5-2 loss yesterday to the Toronto Maple Leafs. What are you guys doing? That game lands on 7, Andrew. Every book had it at a 7, and it's where it landed. Then you're going to do the same game parlay. Dude, you're 5-0. I've been keeping receipts. 5-0 with the individual player props on these same game parlays. I keep the receipts, Andrew, so I can show them the next time out. Hey, pod play. We'll see if we can make it 2 pod play winners in a row. Yeah, it was a hold your nose on the Philadelphia Flyers yesterday, but they got it done.
Great call.
In that game. But before that, dude, 5% plays. You have one up for tonight, locked and loaded. 3-1 last month with 5% plays. Give us a little info.
Hey, Carm, we got off to a tough start with the 5% plays to the year, but we're really picking it up. 3-1 in January with the 5% plays. This is a play that stood out to me right away, and this is one that people are going to love because you know what I labeled this? The over of the night. And, you know, people love betting totals. People love betting overs. Nobody likes watching and cheering on an under. Well, if you guys join me today on this 5% play, you're getting the best over game, I think, of the entire board. So you guys can pick and choose which one you think that is, but this is the best bet over totals game of the night. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we can go into the break with a bang. And yeah, it's not going to be just this one play. So I really recommend people to go out there and get that day pass if you're interested. And as well, Carm, I had one guy today, and maybe he doesn't know about the Olympic break, but somebody bought a 7-day NHL pass from me. There's only 2 days left for a couple weeks. But if you guys are on any type of deals like that, hopefully most of you guys know this, but any day there isn't actually any NHL games, you're going to just be extended. So the NHL passes go for just days that there actually will be hockey. So if you want to buy a 30-day, 7-day, whatever it might be, you're going to be extended for all those days, of course, that there actually is NHL action.
Yeah, everything carries over. Essentially, every handicapper or any handicapper that does NHL, our system puts it on a pause from the 6th until the 24th. So that automatically extends your package, and it pauses your package, and it begins again on the 25th of February when the Olympic break is over, and that dash for the cash begins in the NHL. Speaking of dash for the cash, Andrew, let's talk about a couple of Canadian teams here. The Montreal Canadiens and Winnipeg Jets. Minus 110 both ways. Total sits here at 6. I'm a little sour about the Winnipeg Jets, and not the Winnipeg Jets in general, but the fact that I believe the pod play with them at plus money in Dallas should have gotten there. We should be at a higher total right now. I think they were gypped in OT on what was clearly too many men on the ice for the Dallas Stars. But with that said, you take the good and the bad with officiating in the NHL and bounces and puck luck, and that's one that went against us. How are you breaking this one down, Andrew?
I think in this game here, Carm, we got to look at some save props potentially, and I believe we might be getting Montembeault in between the pipes here. So we'll see. Dobish has now played a couple straight games in a row for the Canadians. You and I looked at the board earlier. We're looking at him being projected to start. We'll find out with the morning skate, but he hasn't played in quite some time. And looking at this spot here, I think that it's probably going to be the one that he'll get in before the break. They don't want him going too long without playing a game. Winnipeg does not shoot the puck very much. They are quite low as far as shots on goal per game. So this isn't exactly me taking a dig at Montembeault, even though he hasn't played that great. It's more so taking a dig that the Winnipeg Jets don't create that many chances. So I think I'm looking towards the goalie saves under for Samuel Montembeault if I can. And on the other side of it, if I was to look at another goalie save prop, it would probably be the opposite. Looking at shots on goal props or goal save props for Hellebuyck, because it's two different teams right now. It's a high dangerous team versus a low event team. And the Winnipeg Jets, they're kind of going back to their old form where they just simply don't create that many chances based on, some of my metrics here. They're a top-heavy attack, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Caulfield, and those guys. They're going to be testing Hellebuyck all day long. There's certain teams, I think, Carm, that we're going to look towards overs for when it comes to the last game before the break. And there's maybe some teams we might look for unders when it comes to the last game before the break. 6.5 here, Winnipeg, Montreal. I kind of lean towards the under in this one. What about you?
Yeah, for fear of the fact that you're a Montreal Canadiens fan, and we have Don Buster coming up, who are a Montreal Canadiens fan, I don't want you guys to think I'm jumping on your bandwagon, but I like the Montreal Canadiens tonight at -110. I'm a little surprised. I thought I could get them at some short plus money, and who knows, maybe some Winnipeg money comes in if Montembeault is named or is confirmed as the starter, figuring that he's not the number one goalie right now for that team. But it's one of those ones where first game back off a road trip, you see some of these Western Conference teams, or vice versa, the Eastern Conference teams struggle. And Winnipeg went on that road trip, come back now. They take on the Montreal Canadiens, and the Canadiens are going to skate. The Canadiens are going to be fast. And if Winnipeg don't have the legs in this one, the Montreal Canadiens are going to take advantage of them. This is just one of those ones where Winnipeg just seems to be sputtering along, win a couple, lose a couple, win one, lose one. They're just sort of zigzagging back and forth, and the Canadiens put forth an effort each and every time. With that said, -110. I'm going to wait around a little bit because I think Montembeault is going to get confirmed as the goalie, and I think that's going to bring the price down on Montreal and up on Winnipeg. And if I can get even money on this, then I'm in. I'm all about, and we'll talk about with Brian a little later on, I'm all about saving a little bit of VIG in order to get my play in. If I think I get the right price, then I'm in on it. So with that said, Andrew, don't think too much into this one. I am not a Montreal fan. I'm a fan of money, and my money will be on the Canadiens if I get them at even money today.
There's always room for you on the bandwagon, Carm. There's always room. But then again, your Buffalo Sabres, with how they're playing, it's probably a good time you stick with them with how they're playing. I mean, the Atlantic Division overall is looking so great. We talked yesterday with Brian Leonard about how we expect certain teams to look going into the break. Will this team play better defensively? Will this team play better offensively? We'll find out. For me, I'm looking for the under here, just mostly based on Winnipeg not playing exciting hockey lately, but very curious to see what ends up happening here. Chuck Pod says, I'm seeing lots of books going to 6 on this game. Great point by him. So if you guys do want to get a 6.5, make sure you jump on it ASAP. But hey, Carm, you're always welcome, man. You're always welcome to hop on the Habs with me.
Yeah. This one just hasn't really moved much, and I think goaltending probably has a lot to do with it. It opened at like 111, -111, -109, and we're at -10 both ways on our consensus line on the WagerTalk free play, free odds line. And if you go to, if you haven't already done so, go to Odds Logic and at least try 7 days of their service for free, because I'm telling you, you can see those live moves as they happen in real time. There's a slight delay on our live lines on the WagerTalk site. So odds logic, you're getting real time moves as far as that one goes. But with that said, let's get this whole Montreal flavor out of there and bring in none other than the guy who just loves to play with the rods and cones in my eyeballs. None other than Don Buster. Buster, what is
Let's
going
bring
on?
him in. What's up, Buster?
Let's bring him in. There he is.
Hey guys,
Oh,
how you guys doing today?
good, man. How you doing, Buster? Are you ready for the Super Bowl?
I am kind of ready for a Super Bowl. I'm meeting a couple of buddies. We're going to this Irish bar down here that will have the game on in English. So that's good. It's kind of like I call it a gringo hangout. I don't go there often, but it is a nice place to watch sports since I have my own kind of setup here. But yeah, things are going well. Andrew, I see you have a 5% play up. I just want to wish you luck in case I forget to do so a little later as I'm breaking down my my game. And
Thank you.
Just good luck. And hey, like the new haircut going there. It looks like you got a little off the side or something. I'm not sure.
Appreciate
Buster,
it.
I got some breaking news on my phone. I should mention to you a message from our good friend Robert Braley, who says he'll be watching the game at the Banana Bar. He says you might have heard about it. Have you heard of the Banana Bar?
Yeah. Yes, he actually texted me late last night. And I know, so that means he's back in Bucerias. And yes, I will not even go to that coast, actually. I'm almost banned
Andrew.
the Pacific coast of Mexico just because of that.
Listen, Andrew, if you haven't heard the story, Rob will tell you one day. Buster suffered, and listen, nobody wants to lose, but Buster suffered one of his worst bad beats ever in this Banana Bar. And let me tell you, he turned that Banana Bar into a banana split bar. He pretty much broke tables, chairs, crushed a couple TVs, and then made his way out of there.
It wasn't that bad,
Did you
but
say oops?
they asked me to leave. Let's just say that.
Buster,
they asked me to leave. That's all.
Two teams that won't ask you to leave are the Chicago Blackhawks and the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is actually a pretty good game for you to choose tonight. I'm anxious to hear what your thoughts are on this. Columbus minus 148, Chicago plus 122. Total sits here at 6. How are you breaking this one down?
Yeah, Carmine, these clubs just played last Friday, and Columbus ended up winning 4-2. It was actually a really close game. Columbus ended up getting an empty netter to win 4-2. It was 3-2 after the second period. So if you had an over there, you kind of got hurt on that one. You end up pushing, though. Columbus have been playing unbelievable hockey. They win again last night, shutting out New Jersey. They played a great defensive game. Can't see that happening again tonight, but we'll get to that. Won 6 straight games now, and 10 of their last 11. And I remember about maybe a month ago, Andrew was asking me a question about that Eastern Conference, and I said everyone had a chance. And I believe Columbus was right near the bottom. I did get a little bit of slack when I said even Columbus. I liked how they were playing. And look at this. A little while later, now they're winning 10 out of 11. So I tell you, it's going to be a great month, that last month for the watching hockey for actually both conferences. There's going to be a lot of playoff spots up for grab. Columbus, definitely, these are the last game for both teams before the Olympic break. They definitely would like to go in winning 7 straight games. And but the Blackhawks, they finally broke a 5-game losing streak, winning 6-3 against San Jose. They've got everybody back from injury now. They had a bunch of injuries, and now everybody seems to be back, and they still struggle to win. They still struggle to win. They have decent goaltending, but they struggle to win. But what I find really strange, fishy, me and Andrew have used fishy a lot. A lot of people in the chat don't like the word fishy, but believe me, I've been doing this a long time. When I see a fishy line, to me, this is a fishy line for sure. The line in Chicago last Friday ended at Columbus minus 170. And now it's 148, 145, 150, where they're a little bit all over the market there. I know they played last night, but really, that just seemed to, you with luck go, okay, well, I'm going to take Columbus or 110 out of 11, bang. But there's just, again, when it's fishy like that, I like to keep away. And maybe because of that defensive effort that Columbus had to put in last night. Now 24 hours later, they got to play. So, I definitely don't want to take Columbus at all, only because of the fishy line. That's just to me. And I'm definitely not going to trust Chicago. I know they won their last game, but they have a hard time winning. So I'm going to pass the side here. I have already made a small play for my clients on the over 6 at -115. Now, there's still a few 6.5s under 25. So if you do like it under, I'd be grabbing that now. Well, at least there was about a half hour before I looked. I just believe the Blackhawks are going to score some goals tonight here. Just got to believe that. And also, when these teams are like right now, Chicago, they're 5-1-1 last 7 to the over. Columbus are 4-3-1 to the over and that's with that shutout last night. And when these teams get together, they are 5-1-2 to the over the last 8. And just a little, just want to let you know, the last game, the total was 6. So 6 is the total. Now you can get 6 available. And I look, you know what, guys, I see a lot of these, maybe the last 2 games. I know you talked about it a little bit there, Andrew. I think these last 2 games might, like the last 2 days, sorry, not last 2 games, the last 2 days, you might see a lot more overs than unders because I don't know how much defense these guys will want to play before their takeoff on their vacations.
Yeah, I feel like that's the big thing is how they're going to come out, right, Carm? Like how these teams are going to come out in the last game or 2.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think Columbus is in that spot, Buster, where they cannot take a night off. They have to try and grab every
Definitely
win possible because in the Eastern Conference, as you mentioned, they're at the bottom. Now they put themselves into a spot where they can get up, with a good second half push or good final push in the last 20 games or so. I look at the goaltending. I just think while the line does seem a little off, I just think the better team is Columbus. The better team playing right now is Columbus. If the goaltending is Spencer Knight and Jack Greaves, then I think the goaltending advantage lies with Columbus and Jack Greaves. Jack Greaves, if you look at his splits, Buster, home and away, it pretty much even. On the road, he's 7-6-2, 910 save percentage, 266 goals against average. At home, he's 10-6 with 5 OT losses, I believe, and 272 goals against average, 907 save percentage. But he's won his last 5 games as well too. That's something to look into with a 913 save percentage. And those wins have come against, a few of those teams are pretty good. Okay, he did win at St. Louis, but beating a very good Tampa Bay team, shutting out the Dallas Stars. A little bit of relief against the Ottawa Senators. He didn't start that game, and then wins against Calgary and Utah. So he's playing well. I think the goaltending advantage lies with them. I don't think they can take the night off. Does the goalie stuff come into it for you, Buster?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've looked at the goaltender stuff, but like I said, I just when it's 170 in Chicago, now it's 150 in Columbus, and the way they've been playing, the goaltenders do come into it for me, but I still don't think they're going to play much defense tonight because of and then Chicago did put up a 6 spot last game against San Jose, so they'll want to play a little bit more offensive. And the line of 6, like I say, that's why I do like it over. Yeah, there's no doubt. Like you mentioned, Greaves is playing a lot. Is playing pretty good hockey. I actually like the goaltender myself. I had mentioned that about a month ago. So, but just I guess when I look at this right away, when I saw it was 6/15, I'm like, yeah, that's going to be an over tonight. Just last game for each team. Just sometimes the way you look at things.
I tend to agree with you, Buster, in the sense of I think it was 6.5. I would stay off the game at 6. There's a lot more ways to get to 6 to at least secure a push than there are to get to 7 sometimes where you need to win. Case in point, that Leafs total at 7 yesterday. 4-3 seems to be one of those games, 5-2, because you get a goalie pull. If a team is up 4-2, you get a goalie pull in the empty netter to get there. So there's a lot of ways to at least guarantee yourself a push, I would think, or be closer to a push than there is with this with the hook, where you're going to need a little bit of help each and every time. Buster, what do you got to promote?
Yeah, well, as you know, Carmine and Andrew, they have a whole bunch of great deals over at the site. We got a 10-day. They have that one that I like. It's the 10-day all access for only $69. You get all the 5% releases. Yeah, that's a great deal. I won't have as much as Andrew, but I will be having some Olympic hockey up, and with college basketball. Won our college basketball 4%er last night for Customer Appreciation Day, and yeah, really looking forward to getting into the college basketball that much more. I've been doing all right now, and what people don't know, they see, oh, Buster, NHL, that's kind of CFL, but you know what? In college basketball, I was one of my favorite sports, and Brian will be coming on here pretty soon, and me and him been to a bunch of spots when I go to Vegas, and I've actually been to 4 Final Fours and been to all kinds of sites. So college basketball, I do miss that being in Mexico, because I'd go on a little bit of road trips all over, like Morgantown, West Virginia, stuff like that. But yeah, so anyways, head on our site and grab that. That's a great deal. 10 days of all access for $69.
Andrew, a little known fact, Buster was actually with James Naismith when they invented the game of basketball. He was one of his students. So they put the ball into the little wicker basket and then used the little broom to knock the ball out again and stuff. But Buster, listen, man, you're definitely enjoying the best weather. Looking forward to the Super Bowl as you are in the Olympics, of course, to cheer on our teams. But listen, man, have a fantastic time. Thanks for the breakdown on the Chicago Columbus game, and I wish you the best of luck tonight and through the weekend as well, too.
See you, Buster.
Yeah. Best of luck, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Carm, I'll tell you what, a lot of people might not realize James Naismith. Where is he from? Let's not forget about it. Canadian.
Are you going to tell? Oh, I thought you were going to say from the East Coast,
No.
Nunavut or wherever you live in.
Narnia.
Nunavut's farther north and extremely cold. I would love for people to go up to Nunavut and explore it and see how cold it is there, man. That's one of those ones where you grab a glass of water, you toss it up in the air, and it just disintegrates, crystallizes or whatever. Speaking of crystallizing, this man here is a legend. Let's bring him in.
It's always a great segue
Vancouver.
when Carm brings Brian in. That's for sure. If someone knows how to do a segue, it's definitely Carmine, eh, Brian?
I'm just glad he's not talking about coffee anymore. Yeah, you're great at those introductions, and I got to say, Andrew, regardless of the haircut, you've already got promotion on that. I love the glasses, man. You look so much more intelligent when you wear glasses. I find the same thing for myself. If I see a cute girl and she's got glasses on, I go, she looks even better. So, yeah, congratulations. You
hang out at the library a lot, don't you, Brian?
You know those librarians, man.
It is true, though. Like, I swear, even if a girl doesn't have the brains, they might as well pop some glasses on. It's more attractive. It is.
Well, I remember just a couple of years ago, the younger kids were wearing glasses without the lenses. If you remember that, and I thought it was funny, but I could say it. Yeah.
Well, I never wore glasses growing up, and then I had to see the eye doctor, and I had to get the most minor. Like there's still mostly just the blue light, but it's like when you are looking at 3 monitors every day, watching games on your phone, a disgusting amount. You guys would be disgusted if you saw my phone hours every day. Like, people would be disgusted by it. So my eyes started to pain me. And I'm like, all right, if you don't take care of this now, it's going to be a problem when you're older. So the biggest thing why I wear these, honestly, Brian, is if I'm watching like my TV and I have the lights out. Like if it's dark in your room and you have a bright TV, it really is bad for your eyes. So it helps me out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I use my phone when I'm laying in bed and the screen and all. I feel terrible for these younger kids. You can imagine how bad our eyes are now. Just imagine theirs is going to come when they're 30. Jeez.
Big time.
Listen, man, I grew up in at a time, Andrew, like braces at the age of 10, glasses at the age of like 11. I was like a chick magnet. I did have hair back then.
Hair gone at the age of what?
And this is a true story. This is a true story I'm about to tell you. You know how Brian might remember it, but Andrew, you're too young to remember these kind of things or to have them told to you, where our parents would tell us, don't cross your eyes because they'll get stuck.
They'll stay that way.
It was a thing that they used to say. Do you know that this, with my eye here, going to school, and we were talking about it, and I crossed my eyes and I damaged the nerve and I got stuck. And I was in the hospital for a couple of months, and they had a patch on it, and I kept wanting to scratch it, and they put me in an upper body cast back then as a kid. So I could not grab my eye because they said you can damage it even more. Dude, braces, glasses, and a body cast. It doesn't get any worse than that. That's a commercial for some insurance company, Geico, or whatever.
I don't think so. All right, Brian, we're curious your thoughts here on Vegas. I'll tell you what, I was 3-1 January with 5% plays. The one that screwed me was Vegas over 3.5 on Saturday. It was the second game back after the road trip, so I thought that was going to be the one they're going to be dialed in for. Seattle swallowed them up. They played well defensively. I haven't been able to say this for a long time, but one thing I'm noticing as of late with this Vegas team, a bit top heavy. You know, they've got their superstars, and that's about it for them. The thing I've always known about the Vegas Golden Knights is that they've had a big supporting cast, you know, good secondary scoring. Who better to come to town than the Vancouver Canucks? But how do you approach this game?
Yeah, there's great points there. In fact, they brought up their fourth string center tonight is going to be playing in his first career game. So yeah, by watching the Knights the last month or so, every time I watch it, we watch every game, and they always have a new player. My wife will turn around and go, "Where did we get this guy from?" They're a very top heavy team, and that's been hurting them. And if you take a look at, you mentioned losing the total in that one, or the team total. If you look at Vegas the last few games, if you look at the deserve to win meter and the expected goals, they're still playing pretty well offensively. It's just that they're just not getting it done defensively. Well, this is a game, I think they'll be a little bit defensive oriented in this one. You know, the Knights have dominated the series, especially as of late. They won the last 4 meetings by scores of 4-1, 3-2, 3-1, and 3-1. They've been very consistently slowing down the offense here for Vancouver, which has their own problems anyway. But these are all been defensive battles. They've won 18 to 25 all-time meetings against the Canucks. Vancouver this season, 6-31-5 when they score three goals or less. So the last 5 games overall for Vancouver, they've scored 10 goals total, 2 exactly in each of those games. So Vegas is going to shut down the Vancouver Canucks offense tonight. I have no doubt about that. And even though they've had problems with their goalies, none of them are actually playing very well right now with these last 2 games. They've come out and said today that, yes, obviously in the past, the coach came out and said they've been looking forward to the Olympics and all. I think 7 players are supposed to go from the Knights. So they've been preoccupied a little bit, but they've lost 5 games in a row here. You know, Vegas has been mediocre at best in 5-on-5 play. They rank 5th on the power play, 11th on the penalty kill, and that's opposed to 23rd and 32nd respectively for the Canucks. So Vegas have lost 5 straight, as I mentioned, 7 of 8 overall. They've had the last 2 days off before hosting this club, and they host Los Angeles tomorrow. And as for Vancouver, this is their final game before the break. This is a team with right now the worst record in the league, the worst amount of points. So I don't see Vancouver winning this game. Now, the host is a prohibitive favorite here, and for a good reason, especially how bad Vegas has been in overtime and shootouts. If you're going to take a look at Vegas, you've got to play them in regulation. I'm not a regulation guy. I know you are, you guys are, and Prez is. I don't play a lot of regulation, but that would be something I would look at here. But I also want to fade the Vancouver offense. Like I said, Vegas has done very well against them, and it's really slowed them down. Vancouver's offense is in a rut right now. So the way I'm looking at it is two ways to play it, either Vegas in regulation or the Vancouver team total under. I like both of them, but we're getting a little bit less juice here if we're playing the under 2.5 at -138. So that's the way I'm going to go on this for the video today. Vancouver team total under the 2.5.
Yeah, Brian, I tend to agree with you. Obviously, you look at this line, and people will say, why are we talking about games where a team's like a -270 or -280 and another team's +220? But you can pretty much preview any Vancouver game for the rest of the regular season. I think they're going to be like, other than games at home, on the road, I think they're going to be +200 and higher for the rest of the season. They're definitely going to be a seller at the trade deadline. I think today is the last day of the trade freeze. I believe maybe Andrew can correct us or not. So any trades can still happen today, but Vancouver's going to sell
3
off some
Eastern.
pieces. 3 p.m. Eastern. So Vancouver's going to sell off some pieces. This is a team that is going to have to start a rebuild, and what better rebuild than to be the last place team and hopefully pick up a guy like McKenna, first pick in the draft, and you just start to rebuild. We've seen some of the teams, Chicago looking a lot better in Connor Bedard's like second or whatever year in, Macklin Celebrini with San Jose. There's some very good kids coming out of that NHL draft, and if Vancouver can stockpile even a few number one picks, they've got a chance. But they're going to be +200 moving forward. It's kind of like a couple years back, Andrew, with the Buffalo Sabres, where they were like +300s in the last like 10, 15 games of the season because they were such a miserable team.
Yeah.
So with that said, any thoughts on Brian, the second half? I just wanted sticking with Vegas, because I talked to Andrew about this just before the show. Obviously, as hard as it sounds, this is an important game for the Vegas Golden Knights. They play LA tomorrow, and then they go into that break. But they've got some tough games coming out, and it's, even though they're in first place in the Pacific, they are not guaranteed a spot in the NHL playoffs as of yet, because the West is becoming competitive. Coming out of the break, they play the Kings, and then they hit the East Coast, Washington, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Detroit, come back to play Minnesota, Edmonton, and Dallas. That's a pretty strong schedule coming out of the post-Olympic break. And you said, I think they have 7 guys going to the Olympics.
7 guys going to the Olympics. One of the guys got hurt last night, but he's not been ruled out for the Olympics yet. But he's not one of their main players. But yeah, you're right. They've got the tough schedule coming out. They need to get it together. I would have liked, that's the good thing. It seems to be every team I've ever rooted for in my life is a lousy team. The Browns, the Indians, the Cavaliers. Yeah. So usually that's a good time, when they come out and they come out. But it's a situation for Vegas. They know they need to win, and like you said about Vancouver, Vancouver's a team right now. We've all been there. You've been on teams that just can't wait to get to the break. We've all played sports before. So yeah, it's a great situation there. And I don't want to lay that number for Vegas, because if it goes to overtime, who has confidence in Vegas going to overtime? Second half of the season is going to be big for Vegas. They want to set themselves up. So I think we'll get a better look at them in the second half, and they'll play better. Because as I mentioned, if you take a look at the expected goals situation, they've been very good. And they just got to get the 5-on-5. The 5-on-5 just does not work. And we'll see how it goes the second half of the season. So these are two very important games to go into the break.
All right, Bri and Andrew. Bri, I know I didn't ask you this before the show. Do you have any thoughts on this next game, Edmonton and Calgary? Because if so, I'd like you and Andrew to talk about it. But I'll go to Andrew first on this one. Andrew, the Oilers off a 5-2 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs, -133. Calgary +113. 6.5 is the total. The Alberta Derby, these teams do not like each other. They would love nothing better than to an open game, score some goals, throw some bodies around. Kadri going into the break is going to want to put on a performance of his own as well too. Maybe from a toughness point of view for a team who might be a buyer at the trade deadline after the break. What are your thoughts on this game, Andrew?
First of all, my thoughts are, I don't know your soccer lingo here, Carm. It's the Battle of Alberta, not the Alberta Derby. This isn't England here. We're not in
the Manchester
UK.
Derby. I get it. Or the North London Derby. This weekend is the North London Derby between Arsenal and Tottenham, but we'll get to that one.
It's not the Premier League. It's the NHL, the National Hockey League here. Come on. Look, it's hard to argue the over in this game here. Look, you can't say I don't talk about unders. I gave out the Jets and Montreal game under. We do talk about some unders, but right now, my favorite thing about what's going on with the Oilers, guys, is look what happened with Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner goes to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and oh my God, what does it look like? He's actually a good goalie. And everybody that said he sucked can just, fill in the blank because it was the Edmonton Oilers defense all along. Because now you bring Tristan Jarry over there to Edmonton, and he doesn't look very good. Connor Ingram doesn't look very good. And despite Calgary not playing in the most highest scoring games, they are having a strong shooting percentage right now. And I think that for some of these bad teams, they might say, hey, let's roll the pucks out. Let's go with a bang. And with the physicality, with the power plays from these teams, with Leon or Connor, both of them not scoring a point. And I think there is something to be said about wanting to go to the Olympics on a good note. Nick Suzuki for the Montreal Canadiens said it's no secret. I want to play good hockey the past couple of games. Even though I already know I'm on the team, you want to go into the Olympics feeling pretty good about yourself. Well, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, they lost 7-3 against Mini, and then 5-2 against Toronto? They're going to be motivated, and Calgary's going to say, oh my God, Brian, Carmine, Andrew can score on the Oilers right now. Everybody can. Let's take the over 6.5 here because right now this team is so bad defensively. They're going to give up goals against an East Coast team, but I do respect their offense enough to think they're going to bounce back. So this to me is going to be an over 6.5, and hopefully it's not like last night's game and we actually get a goal or two in the first period. Can't believe that game, guys, finished with 7 goals and there wasn't one single goal in the first period. Now, I'll bring you guys back in with this. I know that, Brian, you don't bet as many totals, but I do, and we'll have to talk to your pal Ralph about this because how many totals would you say with 6.5 as the number land on 7, 5-2, 4-3, 6-1, whatever? Because if you look yesterday, a lot of people will tell you, hey, it's not worth it to lay, -140 over 6.5. But then if you head over 7, you get the push. And of course, if you want the under, you're going to take under 7. But I'm very, very curious. It's kind of like back in the day, like when I first started doing this, 5.5 was the most common total. And then it became 6. Mm-hmm. So were you willing to lay that chalk on over 5.5 or lay the 6? Because what was happening? We all know 3-2 scoreline, empty net goal, 4-2 gets you over the total. So it's very, very interesting. I mean, guys, this to me is always something worth talking about because when you see a 7 there, are you willing to lay the juice? Because there's a lot of people that were probably able to be winners, but they also would have lost chalk if they had the over 6.5. What would you guys do as far as that's concerned?
I have an opinion on the game, but like you said, I don't do a lot of totals. So it would have to be a numbers. I'd have to compare the numbers and figure out what they are. But that's the way I'm looking at this game. The only way I could see is the over, and you're getting, right now it's leaning 6.5 under 15 basically. But you take a look at, we've already said these are their last game before the break. Edmonton especially has got some real key players about to leave. So if you take a look at Edmonton lately, they've been high-scoring games. They had 7 against, in the Toronto game yesterday. If you take a look at the prior games before that, 10, 7, 11, 11, 8. So right now, Edmonton is really playing against a lot of high-scoring games. And Calgary is a team that, they're more of a lower-scoring team, but it's the last game before the break. And I think that helps them a little bit here. In the last few games for Calgary, they haven't scored a lot, so they need to get that offense going a little bit. I expect this to be a higher scoring game. I know in the past you've played Edmonton team totals over and had success. You can get plus money on the Edmonton Oilers to score 7 goals, or score 4 goals here. That's not a bad way to look at this one either. So yeah, it's over for me in this one.
Andrew, I tend to agree. 3.17, 903 save percentage for Dustin Wolf against the Edmonton Oilers in his career. February has been Dustin Wolf's worst month of the NHL season in his career. He is 1-6-1, an 876 save percentage, a 341 goals against average. And that is each one of those 2 numbers, save percentage and goals against average, are the worst amongst all months of the NHL season. And I know there's obviously things that come into it, but he's not a very good February goalie. Usually Calgary isn't a very good February team, because by this point they've already been eliminated from the playoffs, and I don't think we're too far from saying that one as well too. So with that said, I'm looking for some goals tonight, Brian. I agree with you on this one. So let's go goals. And maybe McDavid, who I put a pizza slice on him to get a hat trick yesterday, and he got me nothing. I got no pizza, man. Like I ketchup sandwiches yesterday for me. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. Brian, what do you got to promote?
Well, been doing very well in college football. College football. Haven't lost a college football game all month. College basketball, 11-4. Our last 15, 5-1 in the NHL. Though lost our play yesterday on Seattle. I've got 2 plays up in college basketball right now. I'm going to have hockey up later. May put up an NBA game. And you had mentioned the trade deadline. NBA is going through the same thing. So keep in mind when you're betting these games for hockey and the NHL and the NBA, players you expect to be there may not be there. So I'm not. Good luck on your 5% play. I'm not going to go anything big right before the trade deadline like this, but I've got the 2 college basketball plays up. I'll have hockey up later, and still working on the card. And we want to see what goalies are going to be in that for us tonight before I commit to any of them.
I don't blame you, Brian. That's why, guys, you pick up the 1-day all access at the very least, and you're going to get all of his plays across all sports today, and he's going to have some plays up. But I just can't listen. I'm a Raptors fan, but I just can't follow NBA right now. The game has just changed so much with like load management and stuff. And like Kawhi Leonard, okay, a man who's beloved here in Toronto. Kawhi Leonard not making the All-Star game so LaFlop can make it out in LA is beyond me. So with that said, it's just, I can't watch it. When a guy, it's like saying, sorry, Connor McDavid, you didn't make the All-Star game because we needed to give it to like Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
Sorry, Andrew. I had to get a little shot in there.
Well,
Brian, listen, man.
It's crazy. I'll say about basketball, like people say that like there's certain sports that the coach matters the most. Obviously NFL, because it's a play-by-play thing, like a stoppage play. Most people know this that have watched our show. Like basketball was my sport growing up and playing the most, actually, as much as I love hockey. And my old man, like he's the reason I played basketball growing up. He loves it. He coached me a lot. He likes watching college basketball much better than NBA because of the ball movement, because of the plays, because of the motion offenses. Like it's just not like that in the NBA. Like I really ask myself whenever I watch the NBA, what are the coaches doing? Like, what are the coaches really instructing these guys to do? Because it's pretty much pass it around, isolation ball. Like, I know, Brian, do you still use that website, Shot Quality? Because I mean,
they do a very good job. Yes.
yeah, very, very cool website. But I
Yeah.
think it's like, I understand maybe the coaches are setting up certain guys to get the ball, but it's like, man, I don't know. Maybe I'm a curse. Every time I toss on the Canadian team, the Raptors here, I literally watch like 10 turnovers in 5 seconds, and I just turn the ball. I can't watch it. There's too many turnovers.
Yeah,
So
everybody
you're the
tries to
boss.
get too fancy out there. And my Cleveland Cavaliers trade a 24-year-old for a 34-year-old who has never won in the playoffs in his life, despite having Harden's had to have played with every great player in the NBA, and he still doesn't have a championship. So Cleveland trades a 10-year younger player to get him.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I should be a GM. Brian, listen, man, we look forward to you being on tomorrow, and hopefully we can put together that deal for the early baseball. We'll talk about it a little later on, get that one going along with the rest of the NHL as well, too. Wishing you the best of luck today, and thank you for doing double duty as well, too, in covering this Edmonton and Calgary game.
It's always a pleasure, and I owe it to everybody because I've stunk this week on this show. So hopefully I get you a winner today.
You will.
All good, Brian. Take care, man. See you tomorrow.
Okay. Good luck.
Andrew, I can see why you had to play basketball, dude. You're like 7'2" or whatever the hell it is. You're tall. For you guys who don't know, like the first time Andrew came came to Toronto, I think it was, and he was standing beside the Prez. It's like watching The Rock and Kevin Hart, where you look up here and then you look down there, and it's like that's what it was. You were The Rock, and the Prez was Kevin Hart.
Luckily for Prez, he could
differential.
stand on his wallet, and he'd be a lot taller than me. So he's got that going. At least.
It's all Bitcoin. No, Andrew,
Yeah.
dude, 5-0 player props. Your run right now. Give us a same game parlay, but some player props as well too that people in the chat can follow along, play individually, and make some money.
Definitely, Carm. Definitely. I got a couple props for the parlay for today, but we'll just look at some head-to-head props for today to look at here. If anybody's interested, I love the head-to-head stuff, so we'll try and find something for you. Cole Sillinger, he's plus 170 head-to-head, 3 straight in his matchup. We've got pretty good one here with Jordan Eberle, 4 straight for him, minus 115. Steven Stamkos, minus 141. Might seem like a little bit too chalky for people, but for him, 4 straight games for him against Minnesota. He's gotten at least 1 point. Dylan Guenther, same thing for him. And I think Rupe Hintz is in for a good night as well for Dallas. Looking at the goal scorers right now. Goal scorers, last 5 games. Morgan Geekie, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 175. Kaprizov, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 110. Matt Duchene, 4 of his last 5 games, plus 270. And Joel Eriksson Ek from Minnesota, plus 200. He's got a goal in 4 of his last 5 games as well. So as far as the hot goal scorers right now, they're playing pretty well. Yesterday, we cashed Mantha Point. He scored the first goal, and we cashed Sidney Crosby assists. Both of those were plus 110, but we did lose the Penguins on the money line, so that was kind of a little bit of a damper here. As far as the parlay for today, we bring it up. It's kind of a small image, I guess, here, but we got 2 mini parlays. We've got Cale Makar over 2.5 shots on goal, and we've got Arturi Lehkonen, same thing for him, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 204. Minnesota and Nashville, Matt Boldy, over 2.5 shots on goal. Joel Eriksson Ek, 1 point, plus 150. Total parlay is plus 660. We've got 3 guys for shots on goal. You guys know I have been kind of laying off those, but love the matchups here. San Jose gives up a ton of shots on goal, and I think Nashville sets up very well for guys like Matt Boldy to get some shots on goal. Let's go out with one here, plus 660, and then tomorrow I'll make sure to have some ready for you guys as well in the last one. And Lorenzo, I've been called a lot of things in my life. I don't mind this nickname. Not bad. Mick Props McInnis. I'll take that. Not bad. Not bad.
Now I feel like having some McDonald's after the show, although it's not very healthy for you. Yeah, I'm taking receipts, Andrew, and we'll see how that fares for you tonight in the props market. But fantastic roll, 5-0, and of course, before I get into into the pod, 5% play up for you, 3-1 last month with 5% NHL. So you're going to head into the break with a winner, and you guys can take advantage of it by heading over to WagerTalk and Andrew's page, which he'll mention shortly. Guys, we have a ton of people watching. Let's get those likes up. I will make you a deal. If we have, this is for tomorrow's show. If we have on today's show 250 total likes, and that includes afterwards when the video is posted, and about 40 to 50 comments on the video after it's posted as well too. 7 games tomorrow. Obviously, there's no 6 and 60 this weekend. I will do a magnificent 7, the magnificent 7, and give you a play on all 7 games tomorrow on the show. So all you got to do is hit that like button and then comment in the comment section once this video is posted. With that said, let's get to the pod. A winner yesterday with the Philadelphia Flyers. Yes, hold your nose on that one. Where are we going today? I am going with the Minnesota Wild. Yes, I had to wear the hat because it's cold in Minnesota. But you know what? It's not cold on the ice. This team is 7-2-1 their last 10, 4-1 their last 5 away. They've quietly made a run to the top of the Western Conference, only 5 points back of the Colorado Avalanche when no one thought that anyone would catch Colorado. And then you look at it. Yes, Nashville is winning some games, but at the end of the day, Nashville is not going to make the playoffs. I talk about goal differentials being an important metric that you need to look at. Teams moving up and down the standings. Minus 26 for Nashville overall in the season, plus 26 for Minnesota. Minnesota is the better team here. They're on the road, but they're going to get the win. Minnesota minus 125. That is your pod.
The play of the day. You know what, Carm? If you're going to cash tickets on Philadelphia, that's how I know you're doing well with the play of the day, because that was a bold move with Philadelphia, and you get the job done. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. I like that play today with Minnesota.
So, yeah, we'll try and keep it rolling. 1-1 day for me yesterday, a 4% winner in NHL last night, 13-3 run in the NHL, which is great. Finally lost one. I mushed myself with the field goal kicker who doesn't miss anything from inside 40 yards. I lose a soccer play, but that was a 7-0 run, 7-1. If I can win 7 out of every 8 soccer plays I put out, I'll be perfectly happy. I'm passing on soccer today because there's not much going on. There's an EFL Cup game. I just don't like the card, but I will have a 5% play loaded up for Saturday in soccer, and absolutely love this play. So you guys can maybe pick up that 3-day all access or 7-day package, or that 10-day one that Andrew has up there. Look at that. Andrew, you're fire with that graphic there. Absolutely love our office for putting that together. 7 days all access for the price of 10 days all access for the price of 7. Pick that one up. 3 plays up in the NHL for me. 2 of them are best bet plays. One's a 3% play. Passing on soccer, as I mentioned, and hoping to head into this Olympic break on a great run. 13-3 NHL. Let's make it 16-3 after tonight. Andrew, tell us what you have up at WagerTalk and close this show out.
Yeah, guys, great deal. 10 days all access, for the price of 7. Saving big time. Carmine's rolling in multiple sports, having a great past couple days. I cashed a 4%, $5 play in college basketball. Back-to-back blowout winners for me with college basketball. So we all have our sports we talk about the most, but we're also involved in other sports too. So don't forget about these all-access deals. That's where you're going to get everything that we are involved in. But 5% play goes tonight. I'll leave you guys with this. If you like exciting games and if you like betting overs, this game is for you. That's all I've got for you. Big game, very exciting. Cannot wait to cash this ticket. We'll see you guys tomorrow on PuckTime. Let's pack the live chat. Final show before the break. Hopefully you guys show up. We'll definitely be here and ready to bring you guys some winners. Have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place.